Yo, what's up? So, yeah, last I saw you, it's probably late September. Yeah, I know, I said I would be doing, let me get I don't know, probably try to say the lighting, but yeah. Um, I was gonna try to do some video every week. Then, I don't know. The thing is, I'm not really good at, making videos. Let me go turn that light on over there. It's too, I don't like the having like one half of my face revealed. Where'd the light go? Okay, I guess this is the only, this is comfortable. Yeah. Oh, I changed up the layout of my bed, put it down, and then moved it over. So now my shit's all over there. Now I'm right here. Well, yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the way it usually comes out, you know? Um, I don't know. These days, I don't know, I don't, really do much. I go to work, I get home, do some cleaning, and I watch movies and eat, then go to sleep, then get up and go to work. So, yeah, you know, Jesse doesn't talk too much, but it's cool. Um, let's see. Yeah, I was, well, that's basically why I haven't been making any videos. I don't have a lot of motivation, and when I do, then I don't really like the way it turns out. But I don't know. I realize that I have to be in the right mood to really make it good. At least enough for my standards, because I know my videos tend to, kind of suck, you know? Like, you can't hear me, because here's the thing, I'm probably like 7 years too late on this, but I don't know how it is for other people, but I can't talk above a certain volume without straining my voice. And I don't know, I don't want to get up a big setup where I have to get a microphone out because I have one. I just, it's a pain in the ass. I don't use a computer anymore. Story with that is I had this desktop probably since 2015 until 20 no, it would have been like 2014, 2015 till probably September 2016, and it just crapped out on me. And then I got a laptop, and that died around the same time of year, but 2 years later, 2018. When that crapped out, I learned it was because the motherboard was fried. And it's like, if this is gonna happen to every computer I get, why even bother, you know? I don't use it for much. And my TV's a smart TV anyway, so I can watch YouTube on there. The only thing I was ever using it for was writing. So I got a new laptop probably like 6 months, no, probably more like 5 months after that last laptop died, and I just use it for writing, which I don't do as much anymore. But I'm still alive and kicking up there. It's just I'm basically a zombie a lot of the time. Um, just my lifestyle and my personality. That's just kind of how I've become. Um, but I got some good ideas. Um, it would be good to get those out somehow at some point. Um, Yeah, and yeah, I know I need more fans in the computer. That's probably the one way to solve it. 'Cause I'm pretty much a minimalist. I mean, not like completely a minimalist, but I'm very minimalistic. Like, I have all these books and DVDs and shit, and basically, I I'm aiming for a time where I can just have one or two shelves because I like the process of you know, eliminating them as I read them, watch them, or just get tired of them. So I don't know. That's how that goes. Yeah, if it were up to me, I'd just have a pretty blank room. I mean, I like the posters and stuff, but I don't know. I don't need a lot of stuff, but I like the process of clearing out space. Um, but yeah, pretty much my life is work. I'm a janitor and watching movies and reading. I've been rereading I Am a Hero. I'm on the fifth omnibus. They're 2-in-1s, I believe. Well, yeah, they are. I don't know why I said I believe as in that I didn't already know that, because I do. Um, it's good. The first couple volumes weren't as good as I remember, so I was kind of worried. But then I read the third volume, and I'm talking about the individual volumes, not the third omnibus. Rather, the second omnibus is when it started getting especially good. And I think another thing is sometimes I read or watch something when I'm not really in the mood for it, and it kind of deteriorates my experience of it. Um, I'm trying to think of an example of something else where that happened, but I can't pull anything up at the moment. Like I said, I'm a zombie, but yeah, I'm a Hero's been really good. Um, I'm reading more now. I was going through a pretty long period where I wasn't really reading a whole lot, but now I'm back into it. I'm also reading this. Um, it's a fan-made book of from back in like 2006 or 2007 about predictions for the last Harry Potter book because I last read the sixth one probably like back in July. It's probably when I read it. I read it in like a couple weeks too. Um, but yeah, I'm reading this one before I read the seventh one just because I've had it for a while. Because I just saw it for sale at my library one time. Figured I'd take it because it'd probably be interesting to read at some point, and just started reading it about a week ago. Well, I had read a few pages a couple months ago, but I really got into reading it about a week ago, and I read it at work on my break. And it is pretty interesting. If you're not into Harry Potter, you probably wouldn't care for it, but I am. Here's the thing about Harry Potter, though. The movies, the thing is, I first read the books in elementary school, and I was young then, so I read through them, but I didn't retain a whole lot of what happened. Then, after each book, I would watch the movie, and then after, you know, fifth grade when I finished the last one, I've only been watching the movies until I started rereading the series in 10th grade, so like 5 years ago. I read the first and the second one, like the third one the next year. I don't remember exactly um, how far apart was between each book, but yeah. Basically, the movies are so ingrained in my head that I have trouble remembering what happens in the books. Even now, after, because I remember back before I started rereading the books in 10th grade, I watched all the movies again, then started reading the book, and then I haven't watched the movies since then, but I will after I finish this book, this book 7 that is. But yeah, pretty weird. Um, that happens sometimes. Um, especially being a zombie, you know. I have trouble remembering stuff, but it's cool because I tend to remember most things, I think. Um, yeah, I remember I was planning on making a video of, or I guess a video series about stuff I'm watching in October, and, that didn't happen. Did it now. But I can tell you that there were quite a few good things that I'll recommend. So, I've been getting into John Carpenter a lot. I had seen Big Trouble in Little China before, and I've seen it a few times, and it's a really good one. Um, I think it's pretty much a cult movie at this point. Very good though. I had seen Escape from New York once, which is amazing. The Thing, which is pretty fucking famous. Um, very, very good film. And I feel like, oh, I'd seen Starman, which was alright. I think I had seen it back a few years ago because um, I had just watched The Big Lebowski for the first time, and I liked Jeff Bridges, and he's in that movie. But yeah, I've been watching some more of his movies. I watched Christine, which is about a sentient car and a nerdy guy, high school student who comes to acquire that car, and it influences him, and yeah, it's kind of a thriller, and it's pretty good. The Eyes of Laura Mars, which was pretty good, except the ending was a bit iffy. Not really, oh, and it's one that he only wrote, by the way. He didn't direct it. Apparently, he had a much different vision than what the movie had. Um, but yeah, it's just the ending. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's just a bit iffy. I didn't really love the ending. Even it wasn't that the ending itself was bad. It was really just how it was handled. Um, but there was a really good actor in that movie named Brad Dourif, who I know as Grima Wormtongue in the Lord of the Rings movies, and I didn't realize that was him. And also, he's the kid in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which is also a really good movie. And it's just crazy that because he's a really good actor. Because I mean, just the transformation of those three movies. Um, it's like he's an awkward teen in the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and then he's this really kind of rough talking New York taxi driver in The Eyes of Laura Mars, and then he's this kind of slimy uh, like lowly character in Lord of the Rings, and he's a good actor though. He pulls it off pretty good. Um, so yeah, it was good. I enjoyed the movie, even if it was not as good as what probably John Carpenter had in mind. But there was a couple others I saw from him. I think. Um, oh, of course, They Live, which probably my favorite of his movies, like of all that I've seen, honestly. Because and I saw the Halloween movies, which were cool. The first two, at least, and the third one, which isn't have anything to do with him, but um, yeah, they were okay. But no, they were pretty good. I don't mean to undersell them. Damn it, can't have any comfort. All right, They Live is there's oh, that's better. There is it's basically it's kind of campy, but really well done, I think. There's this whole atmosphere that just it kind of makes me feel like I'm there with the characters, and as 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 wild as that movie is, it's one where I feel like kind of comfortable when I'm watching it, you know, like I'm relaxed almost. Um, and there's this one fight scene, and it's like 10 minutes long between two guys in an alleyway, and it's like one of the best fight scenes ever. It's not over the top or anything. It's actually kind of a simplistic fight, but just it's you'd have to see it to really understand what I'm saying here and why I like it so much. I mean, honestly, I can't really put it into words. That's why he's the director and I'm not. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty fun. Um, Pretty fun movie. I like it a lot. I'm gonna be rewatching it for sure. So that's another thing. I haven't really. I've been taking a break. Whoa. From rewatching a lot of movies. Thing is, I'm not really a rewatch kind of guy. I don't really. Let me turn this light on. I don't really like rewatching movies a whole lot because I don't know. I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood twice in the theaters, about a week apart, and that's my favorite movie so far from this year. Um, the only other movie I want to see this year is Uncut Gems, um, which is I don't know. I've seen the trailer and it looks really. I don't usually watch trailers, um, so I'm still a bit skeptical, but it looks phenomenal, honestly. And another thing I don't look at is the reviews before I've seen a movie, but sometimes it gets through to me. Sometimes it's just inevitable. It's gonna happen, and they're supposed to be pretty good. Oh, I guess I shouldn't be telling you guys that in case any of you are the same way. That you don't like to look at the reviews or the trailers, but I don't know. I heard it's good. It looks fucking good. Um, Looks good. What can I say? I'm gonna see it. Um, oh, yeah, as I was saying about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, saw it twice within a week from one another, and I liked it as much, if not more so, the second time, but at the same time, I was also a bit fatigued having seen the same story twice within such a short amount of time. Like um I haven't seen The Big Lebowski in about a year. I haven't seen Barton Fink in almost a year, like 11 months. Same with Pulp Fiction. Blade Runner I just rewatched a couple, like 3 months ago. Um, and before that, it was like in January or maybe February that I'd seen it. So I was a little bit fatigued, even though Blade Runner is always awesome. It's just rewatching. I don't know, cause I know Your Movie Sucks. That guy, he rewatches movies like a lot. I mean, he watched like in preparation for certain reviews or whatever. He'll watch over it and then I'll watch the commentaries and all that shit. So I mean that's and Tarantino, one of my favorites. He would see a movie like 3 or 4 times in the theater at least, and like he said with him, it's like he would the first time it would be to get all the story, I think, I don't remember exactly what his process was, but then like the second time was when he took the time to really appreciate the movie, and then from there on it's just whatever, you know. But I couldn't really imagine doing that. It's like I don't know. It's just not how I am. But um, my applause to those who can do that. Um, I think that's with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that's the only time I've gone to the theater to see a movie twice, like at the theater. um, and speaking of that, I had pre-ordered the limited edition collector's edition. I don't really know exactly, but it's the 4K Ultra HD copy, and just look at that artwork. One thing I really liked about the movie, well, here's the thing. It's not like probably not as I don't know, because it is really good. It's better than Django, I think, and better than Hateful Eight, I think, and Jackie Brown. And I don't know. It's one of my favorites though, honestly, of his, and it's my favorite of the year. It's for me, I just liked that it was and I've talked about this before. It's a hangout movie. We were basically just hanging out with the characters, and I don't know that I like that. That's it's a buddy film. That's kind of I think hangout films and buddy films that kind of go hand in hand a little bit. Um, it's hold on.